So we're going to talk about solving multi-step equations, and the acronym that we use to do this is DCTAM, and the way we remember it is don't chuck tacos at me. And what these mean to do is obviously very important as well. So the D, let's scroll up so we can see all of this. Okay, so the D means to distribute. It's going to be a little tough for me to fit this in mine. So it tells us to distribute. The C tells us to combine like terms. The T tells us to transpose. And we'll talk about what that means. The A tells us to use the additive inverse, so add or subtract. And then the M tells us to use the multiplicative inverse, which means to multiply or divide. Okay, so DCTAM, distribute, then combine like terms, then transpose, then add or subtract, and then multiply or divide. Okay, so when we talk about transposing, that means that if our problem says like 15 equals 3x minus 2, don't write this in your notes. This doesn't go in the chart. I'm going to erase it on mine. I just want to show you what it means. So transpose means if we have 15 equals 3x minus 2, then we want to write it the other way around. We want to take everything on the left side, keep it exactly the same, and just write it, or I'm sorry, on the right side and write it on the left side, and everything from the left side and write it on the right side. So it's kind of like a mirror. You're just flipping them over. And this is just because a lot of times we're used to seeing our answer or our answer spot on the right side of the equal sign. So it usually leads to less errors if we have it written this way. So that's what the T means. Just flip it around so that your answer spot is on the right-hand side. If this is not something that you want to do, you can skip that step. I will do it in the ones that I'm showing you, but you can skip that step when you're doing it on your own if you would like. Okay, so that's what that means. All right, so looking at example 1. We don't have anything to distribute in this problem, so that spot is going to be blank. We do, however, have like terms to combine. That's too big. So we have 8x minus 3x minus 10 equals 20. So our like terms, of course, are, let's use another color, 3x and 8x. So we're going to 8x minus 3x, which leaves us with 5x minus 10 equals 20. We don't need to flip this around or transpose it because we already have our answer spot on the right-hand side. So now we need to add or subtract. So I'm just going to write this here. Minus 10 equals 20. Okay, so now add or subtract. So this means that we need to undo the addition or subtraction. In this case, we have subtraction, so we are going to add to both sides. So since we are subtracting 10 from our 5x, we're going to add 10 to both sides. Negative 10 plus 10 is 0. So we have 5x equals, and 20 plus 10 is 30. So now we have 5x equals 30. Our last step tells us to multiply or divide. In this case, we have multiplication in the problem, so we are going to undo that by using some division. Since x is being multiplied by 5, we are going to divide both sides by 5. So now we have x equals, and 30 divided by 5 is 6. So our answer is x equals 6. Moving on to example number 2, we do have distributive property in this problem. So we'll write out 7x plus 2 times the sum of x plus 6. Oh, that should say equals. So that equals 39, because this is an equation, so equations have to have equal signs. So equals 39. So we said our first step is distributing. So I will distribute 2 to both of the terms inside those parentheses. So now we have 2x plus 12, because remember, you have to distribute to both terms. 2x plus 12. Now I bring down the rest of my equation that I didn't do anything with yet. So I still have my 7x. That 2 is positive, so that's a plus sign, equals 39. So 7x plus 2x plus 12 equals 39. Our C stands for combined like terms, and if I look on the left side of my equal sign, I do have 7x and 2x, so those would be like terms. 7x plus 2x gives us 9x, and then we still have plus 12 equals 39. Again, I don't need to transpose this because it is my answer. My number by itself, my constant by itself, is in the answer spot. So we can just, once again, move all of this down to our next step, which is add or subtract. So 9x plus 12 equals 39. Alright, so adding or subtracting. What do you see here, addition or subtraction? We have addition, so the inverse, as we worked on last week, would be to subtract. 12 minus 12 is 0, so now we have 9x equals 27, and our final step is multiply or divide. So since we have multiplication in our problem, the final step will be to divide. We're undoing x being multiplied by 9 by dividing by 9, and we know whatever we do to one side of the equal sign, we have to do the other to stay balanced. 9x divided by 9 is x, and x divided by 9 is, 27 divided by 9 is 3. So our answer is x equals 3. So if you didn't write this down while I was writing it down, that's absolutely fine, but I'd like you to go back now and copy this down so you have it in your notes, or at the very least print it out from Schoology, just so you have a hard copy with you.